Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. Today's video is packed with fighting game news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we'll start out with Capcom Arcade Stadium. This is already available on the Nintendo Switch and it's going to be released on PC and consoles. I think it's either May 23rd or May 25th. Now this overall is essentially just an emulator. It's 100% free, but the games you have to pay for. So you can download Capcom Arcade Stadium, but if you want to play any of the old Capcom Arcade games, you'll have to pay. And this is where things get a little bit interesting. They currently have 3 different packs that offer different games. There's about 30 games overall. You can also download individual games as per Steam here. There's actually some pretty good games on this list, but that's not what the big kerfuffle is all about. Capcom just released a trailer of 2 additional pieces of paid DLC that aren't games. The first one here is frames, and this will go on the sides of any of the games you play. And it's just because of the aspect ratio. The old 4:3 aspect ratio isn't really made for monitors of today, so to fill in the blank spaces, you can buy additional frames here to frame your games, and I don't really think that's too bad of an idea. The other piece of DLC that people are actually having issues with here is the invincibility DLC. Yes, Capcom is selling cheats, which doesn't really make any sense to me. Well, I guess it might make some sense to them quite literally. They're selling it for 99 cents and it will grant you invincibility in the games. To me, this is kind of ridiculous considering all of these arcade games do feature save states and a rewind feature. I don't know why they're selling this invincibility DLC and why it wouldn't be included in the base game anyway. This really baffles me that Capcom is nickel and diming for features that should already be included in the games. If I'm not mistaken, they're already using MAME, which is a free emulator to emulate this stuff. So it's not like development really cost them a whole lot, and these games are already developed and they've been around for a while. I don't really know who's going to pay for invincibility considering, yeah, you do have save states and you already have a rewind feature. The invincibility just seems like overkill, but at $1 some people might buy it, I guess. Let me know in the comments below if you would actually pay 99 cents to download an invincibility cheat. Now moving on to Skullgirls. For a game that was released back in 2013, it's still going strong and there's still new content coming out for it. If you haven't played Skullgirls before, I highly recommend checking it out. I can't recommend it enough. This is a severely underrated game. Actually, maybe not if you take a look here. The reviews are overwhelmingly positive on Steam, and that's because the game is very good. It also features rollback netcode. Now, Skullgirls currently has a season pass available, and it also kind of costs more than the base version of the game. Anyways, with that season pass, you get 6 different things. You get 4 new characters, you get some artwork, and a soundtrack. The official Skullgirls Twitter just posted an announcement of an announcement that will take place on May 6th. We're going to find out who the next DLC character is. Right now, I have no idea who it's going to be. A lot of people have been guessing, and if I had to guess, that looks like Goldberg's tagline, but I don't think they're going to have a WWE crossover here. I mean, maybe they will. Stranger things have happened. Anyways, I have no idea who this character is going to be. I'm excited to find out. If you have an idea or if you know, let me know in the comments below. Next up in the news, this one's pretty quick, but the other week Power Rangers Battle for the Grid announced 2 new guest characters for the game. Ryu and Chun-Li from the popular game Fortnite. Now this is how Ryu and Chun-Li are going to be depicted, and they did announce if you pre-ordered the Street Fighter pack you will get some bonus costumes as DLC, but they didn't announce what those bonus costumes were. If you are curious, this is Ryu's DLC costume, which is straight out of the 90s, and oddly enough it looks like something Alex would wear. Overall, I'm a big fan of Ryu's new look. I think Power Rangers did an incredible job with it. Although they did kind of rip off Kung Fury. I mean, if you look at the 2 characters, they look very similar, don't they? Is it just me, or are they almost the exact same person? Either way, I'm excited to play as the Kung Fury guy in Power Rangers. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Next up, Mortal Kombat the movie was just released in theaters, and a lot of people have had a chance to see it, myself included. And oddly enough, it was a lot better than a lot of people were expecting. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's rated 55% based on critic reviews, which is a lot higher than I thought it was going to be, and a whopping 87% based on the audience. And this isn't just like 5 people saying, hey, this movie is great. This is 2,500 plus people rating this movie. Admittedly, I went into this movie with extremely low expectations, hoping to not be let down, and I wasn't, and that was a really good thing. Now, this movie probably won't win any awards, but it started out really good. The middle of it was, it was okay, and then the ending was really good. So 2 out of 3 for me, which is a pass. That's all right in my books. Overall, I do think it's worth seeing if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat or even fighting games, or I guess even some good action scenes. If you've seen the movie, let me know how you think about it. Did you rate it a 2 out of 3, maybe a 7 out of 12, or maybe an 18 stars out of a possible, 22 or something like that? Let me know how you like this movie in the comments below. Next up in the news, this one is also pretty quick. If you remember from a while back, Sega announced a brand new Virtua Fighter, Virtua Fighter X Esports. News of this got a lot of people excited, myself included. Well, we now know more about this new Virtua Fighter. Well, new-ish. It's been more or less confirmed that the new Virtua Fighter game is going to be called Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. And this is why it's new-ish. It's a new take on an old game. Virtua Fighter 5 hit consoles back in 2007. Virtua Fighter 5 Last Showdown hit consoles back in 2012. This news was initially discovered when Virtua Fighter was officially submitted to a Korean game rating website. Shortly after that, Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown also showed up in a PS4 Japanese database. So right now it's pretty much confirmed we will be getting Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. That might actually be a really good thing. Sega hasn't developed a fighting game for a while, and fighting games are expensive to develop. This might be their best option and their smartest option. Just take an existing game and make it better. It looks like they've updated the graphics a little bit. Maybe there's going to be some more changes. Maybe they're going to add some more characters, maybe some game balancing, maybe some better online play with rollback netcode. Either way, I am excited about this. I'm excited to see Virtua Fighter back in the spotlight in the fighting game community. I'm excited to see what Sega does with the esports aspect of it. And I'm excited to see if this game does well if Sega decides to revive the Virtua Fighter series and make a Virtua Fighter 6. I'm hopeful here. I've got my fingers crossed they don't screw this one up and it turns out to be really good. Let me know your thoughts on Virtua Fighter in the comments below. Next up in the news, we're talking about Guilty Gear Strive, another fighting game people are extremely excited about. Arc System Works has just confirmed a second open beta test. It's going to be from May 13th at 8 p.m. to May 16th at 7:59 a.m. And this is PST, so mark those dates and those times in your calendars. Just as a friendly reminder, the open beta is only available if you've pre-ordered the game on PS4 or PS5. If you're on PC, you're kind of out of luck. On top of that, it will be crossplay between PS4 and PS5. Again, if you're on PC, you're kind of out of luck, and that's whether or not you pre-ordered the game. Upon launch, Arc System Works has confirmed there won't be crossplay between PC and console. They do plan on implementing it, it just won't be available on launch. Anyways, the client required to play the open beta is available for download as of May 7th. If you plan on playing the open beta, I would highly recommend downloading that client early. Don't wait until the last moment. There were issues last time with people trying to play the open beta. So just a heads up, be prepared here. Download that client as early as you can. The playable modes available in the open beta are going to be the versus mode, tutorial mode, training mode, and online match. You won't be able to create your own rooms. For the online mode, they made some much needed changes. The player can now select a duel station to queue up for battles. A rematch function has been added. You can rematch a person up to 3 times in the ranked tower. In the open park, you can rematch them as many times as you want. They've also confirmed that the beta test number 2 will be using rollback netcode. And finally, to the dismay of some people and delight of others, they've already released a new balance patch, so you might want to check it out to see what's changed. But anyways, that is all I've got for today. There was a lot of news I talked about here, so let me know what your thoughts are about any of it in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Thank you everyone, take care.